Hey everyone, come join us today for an amazing look around the beautiful Caribbean Princess. We're going to go through all of the different decks. We're going to start at the very, very top of the ship, and we're going to walk you all the way down through each and every deck. Right here, you're looking at the staple of every Princess cruise ship, which is the atrium. This beautiful multi-level area is where a lot of the different things take place. So let's get into the tour right after this. Hey everyone, John here from Bite Size Cruises. Welcome back to our channel. If it's your first time here, thanks so much for checking out this video. We're going to do a somewhat quick tour of the entire Caribbean Princess today. We're going to go through all of the different public decks and show you what the ship's all about. If you love cruising and everything to do with cruising, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel. It really does help us and helps us create some, hopefully, what you think is good content. So here we are up on deck 18, which is the upper pool deck. So this ship is really interesting in that there are a lot of like nooks and crannies on this ship. So we're going to be walking around the entire public areas. And what you're going to see is there's a lot of things that don't really connect. There are some things on this side, some things on this side, some things over here, some things over there. So interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. It depends on what you like in a ship. Here we are by the sports court up on 18. And then you see us going up these steps a lot because, like I said, there are vastly diverse areas of the ship. So here we're walking up again to 18 to Princess Links. I do like the fact that they have this little like carpeting around. It does, if you are walking around barefoot or with flip-flops on, it does make the ground not quite as hot, which is pretty nice up on the pool deck. And you don't see wear and tear as much, which is also pretty nice. It's also not slippery. Again, plus. So here's a little Princess Links, just a place to hit some golf balls around. Very random. I understand that. It's a little interesting. Beautiful day outside here. As you can see, we try to film on port days, so it's a little more empty on the ship. Here's some more fun little nooks and crannies. Come up here. You have a little like escalator, I guess this would be, or like a little push walker thing. I guess it's great for accessibility. And right here, you're going to see this is going to take us up to deck 19. The only thing on deck 19 is Skywalker's Lounge. This is the nightclub on the cruise ship. Fun little spot. You know, there's not a whole ton of nightlife going on Princess cruise ships. This is the nightclub if you do enjoy hanging out a little bit later. It doesn't stay open as late as Carnival, so to speak. It's a little more laid back. Much older crowd on Princess than Carnival, so it does close a little bit early, but this is your spot. If you're trying to get your dance on late in the evening or try to meet and mingle with some singles, this would be the place to go. Also, spectacular views. It's also a really good spot to hang out for sail away if you want to get some amazing views from any port or from leaving Fort Lauderdale, which is where the Caribbean Princess is right now. We're just going to wander around the Skywalker's Lounge here for another minute or so. And the one thing I will say is that this is a huge space. It's easy to get a drink in here. It's a nice place even to hang out during the day. So if you're just reading or if you're doing crochet or knitting or anything like that, this is a great spot to come out and hang out. It's very, very quiet. As you can see, it is spectacular on sea days as well because you get a great view of everything. But cool place to hang out. And then we are going to move on. Here we are back out and about on deck 17. So on deck 17, we're going to, again, you're going to see it's a little disjointed. We're going to walk around. There are like obstacles, so you have to go in and out to get to different spots on deck 17. But here we're going to walk around and just take a look at the outdoor space on deck 17 here. And eventually we're going to wind up overlooking the movies under the stars, which is a really, really, really cool place. They set it up really nicely for the evening so you can grab a blanket and come out here and watch movies. And it's tiered up like a movie theater. It is a really, really nice experience. But again, you see the quirkiness of the ship design. There are consistently obstacles and just things that you have to go around or come in and out. I don't mind that at all. It might be annoying for some people or if you have accessibility issues, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's an interesting, very interesting ship. It's not an old ship either, which is interesting. It's old. I mean, it's more than 10 years old, but it's not 20 some years old. So again, just the upper deck here of the Movies Under the Stars. And then we're going to wind down same deck onto the other side to the Spa Terrace. Or the Sun Terrace, I apologize. Here's the giant satellites. That's how you get your internet, kids. Consistently going up and down like 3 or 4 stairs everywhere just to kind of wind around the ship. Little nooks and crannies. Very, very interesting. A lot of peace and quiet on this ship. A lot of little spots to hang out. Again, that's going to be one of the pros of this type of a ship design, is that there are lots of little spaces for you to hang out and get peace and quiet or privacy. If you just want to kind of sit somewhere and not be bothered or just get sun, you can see up here, you're going to get full sun. There are tons of chairs all around. You can hang out. You can kind of do whatever you feel like doing, which I think is great. Again, you see the chairs set up with like the little drink tables. That's awesome. And then again, you're winding around here on the other side of deck 17, which is towards the back of the ship here, which is going to take you to the Reef Bar. You can see the interesting design there with the Skywalker's Lounge up there. That's the kind of walkway that takes you up to Skywalker's. Really, really interesting ship design. Another really cool thing about the Caribbean Princess here is there is a ton of outdoor space on this ship. Whether it's on 15, 16, 17, or 18, there is just so much outdoor space around, and it's all really well manicured. As you could tell, the ship is, like I said, it's a little bit older. It's over 10 years old. However, it looks great. The ship looks really nice. You could tell it's an older ship just by the design and some of the design choices. And there's some weird architectural things, but overall the ship is very, very cool. And like I said, tons of outdoor space, tons of outdoor bars, just a really, really, really well thought out ship, I think. Very weird in some respects, but I like it. I think it's really cool. Over here, you're going to see the kids' little splash area. Not a ton of kids on Princess as a general rule. However, it is nice that they do accommodate for families and have some options here for the kids. It's actually a pretty good size area for the amount of kids that are ever on a Princess ship. This is a pretty nice space here. I really like all the outdoor areas. And like I said before, I do like the fact that it is manicured nicely. And with this like AstroTurf down there, it gives it a different look than you normally see on cruise ships. So I like it a lot. Also a lot of different like pool areas. So multiple pool areas. I do like that in recent years and in recent times, they've gotten away from the like one big pool deck and have kind of gone with these little nook and cranny approaches. And I know a lot of different cruise lines are doing that. I do appreciate that because the pool deck was, although there are some like benefits to that because that's where they have the big sail away parties and the, your sexy legs competitions and all those things. Those areas do get really, really crowded. People get aggravated, people chair hugs and different things like that. So we're going to go up here. Again, we're staying on deck 17, just a different area of deck 17, and we're going to look at the sanctuary. A little bit more of a quiet area. Again, everything's very beautiful. Loving those port days where everybody is off the ship. It's one of our like little sneaky tips for people. If there is a port that you've seen before or you're in the Caribbean, because a lot of those ports are similar, not exactly the same, but similar. And you want to have just like a great day on the ship, Port days are amazing for that. And it's a day where you could do, you know, if you're on a ship that has water slides, you could do the water slides. If you're on a ship that has like a royal ship that has the North Star, something like that, those are great days to do that. So here's the sanctuary, just very peaceful and quiet here. Really, really, really pretty area. We'll be down on that lower deck in a little bit. We'll show you that as well. Just let you look around here for a little. Again, you would think we were on the ship by ourselves here, like we had special access or anything. We do not. Just a, you know, a beautiful, quiet port day. Let's come down now to deck 16 and check out everyone's favorite spot on vacation, the fitness center. You wouldn't know if this was a sea day or a port day because the gym is generally not that crowded. Some people do use the gym. Again, I say this, I think, in every tour. I give you a lot of credit to have the discipline to go to the gym while you're on vacation. I admire you. I do not have that discipline, but I do admire that you are out there keeping in shape and working out on your vacation. Tons of treadmills. There's plenty of space to do it. And we're going to wind over here on deck 16 to the wedding chapel. Got to stay in shape if you're going to get married on your cruise. Not a lot of ships have a wedding chapel anymore, so you could tell that's also like an age thing as well with some ships. Cool little spot there. Then we're going to take a little, we're going to come down like we did from that one deck up where the sanctuary is into the Lotus Spa pool area. Just a beautiful, quiet area here. Great place to hang out. Take your spa day very seriously. Get a massage or a treatment, then come out here, hang out in the pool. Just a beautiful, beautiful area. I love peaceful, quiet spots on cruise ships as well as some of the hustle and bustle. It's nice to have a little best of both worlds there. And there's no kids in the hot tub right now, which is also great. We're going to stick around on deck 16 and we're going to go to the Tradewinds bar here. Again, I think it's amazing. I'm going to reiterate things over and over again sometimes, but I think it's amazing how much outdoor space there is and how much like fun congregating bar and lounge area space there is. You're going to see that as we get lower, but these bar areas are huge. They're great. They're very spacious. It's never really super or overcrowded, which I think is awesome. And then here's the outdoor play area in the back of the ship here. This is where you have your ping pong and all of your fun little outdoor activities and the beautiful view at the aft of the ship there. Now we have arrived at the World Fresh Market, which is, of course, the buffet on the ship. A little reminder to everybody, please wash your hands before you go into the buffet. On the sailing before this one, they had a little bit of a norovirus outbreak. So that's not great. So a lot of the things were kind of higher protocols, which I actually kind of like. So I think sometimes the buffets are a little gross. So they were serving food, and you could tell people are gloved up and different things to try. They did a big cleansing of the ship, and that delayed embarkation as well. So just a reminder to everybody out there to stay vigilant and wash your hands before you go into the buffet. And don't touch food with your hands. It's so gross. So the buffet's nice. It's very big. Plenty of space here. Plenty of variety of food, which is really good. And yeah, just a really nice, you could tell the ship has been refurbished. So the buffet was really nice. They did a great job refurbishing that. And then you just wander out here onto deck 15. along the way. And we're going to look at a few other things on deck 15. We got the Salty Dog Cafe there. Sure, upscale like burgers, chicken sandwiches, those type of things. You see the mix bar. And then we're going to wander over past Slice here. Slice is the pizza place. It is included in your cruise fare, so you could just jump up here and get complimentary pizza anytime you like. Deck 15, of course, is the main pool deck. So you see your kind of standard main pool area. Again, very large, but I do like the fact that there are other pools and little quiet areas around the ship where you can go swimming and not have to deal with the big crowds, or maybe even you're not interested in the music or the big parties or anything like that. You just want peace and quiet. So here's a little space outside the buffet for you to eat outside, which I always love. And then we're going to wander down here through the pool deck. I do like that there's a lot of options for like little grab and go foods. That does help a lot with flow as well. We're going to walk up here past coffee and cones. Your little specialty coffee spot and your ice cream spot is additional fees there for that. Wander over to yet another pool area, the Calypso Bar and the Calypso Reef and Pool area here on deck 15. Tons of, like I said, tons of places for you to hang out, tons of places to relax, read a book, get plenty of sun. As you can see, there's lots of sun spots and lots of bars. You can see at this point some people are starting to come back on the ship and they're going to hang out by the pool. But still not crowded at all. Get yourself a bucket of beers. Here's Plank's Barbecue. This is usually somewhat specialty dining. But during this sailing, because of the norovirus outbreak on the previous sailing, it was just an extension of the buffet. No specialty barbecue this week or in steamers here, which is the seafood specialty option up here. Same thing, just became an extension of the buffet because of the norovirus outbreak. Sad but true. These areas both look like standard buffet areas anyway, but lots of cool options where you would have normally be able to get some really good seafood and some good barbecue. And then finally, the very aft of the ship, another pool, another great option for hanging out. Very peaceful. This is Outrigger's Bar as well. Another hot spot to grab a drink. Now we're going to wind our way down to all the way down to deck 7, which is the next publicly accessible deck here. Going to wander around the Promenade Deck here outside. I wanted to speed this up a little bit. One, I wanted to leave it in because you get, I just like to give people who haven't cruised before or been on one of these mega ships an idea of how big the ship is. And nothing will show you that more than kind of walking the Promenade Deck. So I'm kind of sped this up a little bit, but I wanted to leave in there at least going down one whole side of the ship so you can get a real idea of just the size and the scale of one of these ships, which isn't even remotely close to being one of the biggest ships in the world, but a very large cruise ship. So we sped this up a little bit, but you're going to get a good kind of walk to see how big this cruise ship really is. Again, nice spot to be outside. Maybe you don't want direct sunlight. You just want to hang out outside and read a little bit or sit and enjoy the water. This is a great spot for that. Also, when you're in port, these are my favorite spots to grab a chair or hang out at some railing space for when the people are coming back so you can watch the pier runners. If you're not familiar with cruising, pier runners are the people who decide that they are more important than everyone else on the ship. It's kind of common. And that even though it says you have to be back on the ship at a specific time, those people, of course, don't, because the ship will, of course, wait for you. But the fun thing is that the ship will not wait for you. And you can see these people sprinting back to get on the ship. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't. But it is, we don't want to see anyone get left behind, first of all. But it is fun to watch the people panic and have to really hustle up because their entitlement kicked in. So, as you see here, that was a good, pretty good scale and size of the ship there. You get to see going down one whole side and then going across from side to side here. And then we'll make our quick turn, start to head back up, and then we'll cut it there. But that's does give you a really good idea of how big the ship is. Then we're going to head inside on Deck 7. This is one of the specialty dining locations, Sabatinis Italian Trattoria. Really nice in here. One of the things I do recognize with older ship design, especially a lot of the newer ships, a lot of newer ships are very like elegantly designed, and each space has its own like little decor and design, whereas this is a little bit of an older ship where everything kind of looks the same. You can see there's a little pizzazz out there with the entrance, but everything kind of has that same cruise ship look to it. This is, of course, the casino. Come in here and test your fate every night of your cruise if you'd like. Then we're going to check out the Wheelhouse Bar again. One of the things I said was there's a lot of like lounge and kind of hangout space. Great places to hang out during the day and just enjoy the day, and always things going on in the evening. Wheelhouse Bar, again, if you look at the decor in all of the different lounges, it kind of all feels the same. Heavy wood, some columns, some chairs. So it does all look kind of similar, whereas a lot of the newer cruise ships, there's very diverse design in each of the different public spaces. Not saying either one is better than the other, but just how you can kind of tell how old a ship is. Here's Club Fusion. Again, another big lounge. It's where they do a lot of the trivia and different fun things that go on during the day. There are musicians in here in the evening. But again, if you could see it, like get an idea of how big this space is as well, tons of just spots to read, hang out, get some work done, do whatever you need to do during the day, which I really appreciate, and really big spaces. I think a lot of the things too on newer cruise ship design is there are a lot of spots, but they're very small. And on these a little bit older ships, sometimes you see these big sprawling lounges and things, which I happen to love. I do love newer ships a lot, but I would like a little more of a blend of the old and the new, I think, a little bit. For instance, like Schooner Bar on the Oasis class ships is really, really small for the amount of people on that ship. And I think like some of the older Royal Caribbean ships, Schooner Bar is actually big, which I love, or at least the same size as the Oasis class for like 4,000 less people. As we wander around the whole Club Fusion here, so you can really see how big this space is. It's a great spot to dance at night too if you're interested, and they do some of the shows and game shows and things in here as well. Deck 7 has a lot of the big public spaces on it, so you'll see a lot of those up here. As we wind around some of the shops here, and then we're going to walk right over past Kerners Bar. Tons of shopping on Deck 7 and on Deck 6, which we'll see in a few minutes. There you see is we're going to pass by the casino so you get an idea of where things actually are. And then here's the Kerners Bar. Smaller space here, still big. Still a great place to hang out during the day if you just want to have a drink, chit chat with some people. I love that there's big open spaces on a cruise ship like this. It's really nice. And then yet another big lounge on deck 7. This is Explorer's Lounge. Just yet another spot for entertainment and fun things going on during the day and the evening. Another sprawling big lounge. A little bit of a diverse decor in here. Mixed it up a little bit, but still has that old school ship feel to it. But all of these different little lounges seat hundreds and hundreds of people. They're not small venues at all. Then we're going to pop down to deck 6 to the other specialty dining, which is the Crown Grill. This is kind of your steak and chops specialty. This does have that very kind of typical steak and chops restaurant cruise ship feel to it. Got the wood, you got all that. It's a little darker in the evening. It really does have that steakhouse feel to it. And then over here on deck 6, you're going to see a lot more of the shops. It's funny, when I was young and I used to go on cruises when I was like in my teens and 20s, I used to think, who shops on a cruise ship? Like, who's going on there and buying clothes and stuff? But you do realize sometimes there are some cool things. I'm not talking about like the jewelry and stuff. Sometimes I think those things are crazy expensive. But some of the clothes shops and some of the fun things, I always wind up buying something on a cruise, even if it's from the logo shop. You see guest services over here. And the excursion desk is over here as well on deck 6. It's a big guest services area. A lot of times they're really small now and they get backed up. That's a large one. More shops. Here's your jewelry and things like that. These I tend to like stay away from. You know, every cruise line has FE and all of your, you know, high-end watches and Hublot and all those different things. Then here you have the Caribbean Princess Theater on deck 6. The theater is enormous, as you could see. There were several production shows. All of them were pretty good. Had some comedians. AJ went to see one of the comedians. She said he was actually pretty good, which we don't generally appreciate the comedians on a cruise ship. Here's the main dining room on deck 5, which is the island dining room. We didn't do a video of all the different dining rooms. They kind of all tend to look similar, so we like to show you an example of one or two of them sometimes. And then here's the inside of the dining room. So you can get an idea. They're not the grand, you know, Titanic-looking dining rooms, but very utilitarian. Gets the job done. And then here we are on deck 5, looking at the internet cafe and library. It's nice to see the library books back post-COVID. They were all taken out during the COVID times. It's nice to see them back in there. It's nice to see libraries on a cruise ship, which are really nice. A great, quiet place to hang out. Then we're getting close to the end here. You see the Vines Wine Bar. Great little kind of specialty place. If you go in there and get a glass of wine, they will give you some free appetizers, some sushi, some tapas. Great place to hang out during the day. And the evening, for that matter. Really is. And as we get to the end here, thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We would love if you would subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. We appreciate you checking it out. If you made it to the end, God bless you for hanging out. I know most people don't make it all the way to the end of these, so we do appreciate you staying. Here's the Fine Arts Gallery. See a lot of the artwork hidden down this little hallway here. A lot of the art from most of the cruise ships is very similar. They did have some different things on here that I hadn't seen before, which is always nice when you go on a lot of cruises. Again, thank you so much for watching our videos. We really do appreciate it. We would love for you to subscribe. Come hang out with us. We are going to be on the MSC Meraviglia soon, so those videos will be up within a few weeks. We hope you are having a great day. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye.